Well, thank you to the candidates who are about ready to enter our last. How to deal with surprises. We have a surprise guest. So I'm looking at my clock and I'm trying to figure out if we will have time to do that. It's highly irregular, and although this debate is a Republican gubernatorial debate, this guest has traveled some distance and would like to ask us a question, or would like me to put a question to him. So, where is the guest?
Hello. How you doing?
Hello. Good to see you. Surprise, surprise.
Hold up.
Huh?
What's in the back?
Well, looking at the time, I think we'll have time for just one question that I may ask you. And to be fair to all of our real candidates, I would give them the opportunity to respond as they would see fit.
I'm an unreal candidate.
You're an unreal one, yes. Yes. Could you tell me what governor we have had that you hold in high regard and why?
Oh, Nancy, that's an easy one. You know, Gene Shaheen, the taxing machine.
This is a Republican debate.
You know, see the money, it's all about the money. Show me the money, and we're about sales taxes and income taxes and gambling taxes and business taxes, and we did such a good job when we were here running this state. We went all the way to Washington. We're going after the big dough now.
Thank you very much. Frank, would you like to react first?
Well, good evening, good luck tonight.
You take the price tag off the t-shirt. You gonna bring it back?
I was going to show you how much you have to pay for it.
The current people will have a new tax for it, too. The governor, I think he's more of the real governor than what we have. You need somebody who's going to stand up. And you heard about leadership. There is no leadership. But when I was in New Mexico, I saw a gentleman by the name of Merrill, who was the governor. He said, come to New Hampshire. No sales tax, no income tax, no seat belts, and all these freedoms. And I said, I'm on my way. I came here. I didn't vote. You did. There was a person by the name of Gene Shaheen. And the taxes started going. And the other gentleman I would say was probably Governor Craig Benson. And I'm sorry that my party didn't do a better job than stand behind him.
Thank you. Jack?
Well, that was a funny clown. It's a serious matter, though, and I do want to say this. Folks, you know, we have been in the midst of the worst recession since the Great Depression. The last two budgetary periods have been a disaster in this state, actually all three, but the last two especially. This governor, Governor Lynch, a 25 to 26% increase in our budget, in our spending, when all other states were reducing their budgets by 3 to 4%. What's wrong with New Hampshire? 80 plus new fees and taxes. Been to register your car lately, or your boat, or anything, if you can afford your boat. It's absolutely a disgrace what's going on in the state of New Hampshire. A lot of these new taxes have been focused at small businesses, and it's really hurting the economic environment of our state. For the last 3 years, we have had businesses and population leaving the state of New Hampshire, more leaving than coming in, and that's never happened since I've lived here. But it's now happened 3 years in a row. This is so serious. This year, this election is so critical to our state and our country. You have to make the right decision, put the right people in office to turn this state around. Thank you.
John?
I really love this question. 2 weeks ago, I was in Colebrook with Tom Thompson, Governor Mel Thompson's son, who's a big supporter of mine, carrying the axe, limited government, less spending, more freedom. And the citizens in Colebrook were looking at us as we're marching, shaking hands, and boy, they get it. They know what's going on. I think you people here know what's going on. My dad was in the state senate. I think my dad's been in the boxing commission for the longest in the history of the state of New Hampshire, maybe close to 40 years now. When Governor Thompson appointed him to be boxing commissioner, I was a young boy. He brought me up to Concord. My picture is we put it on my website, johnstephen.com. Look at it, you'll see the picture. And behind Governor Thompson's desk, I'll never forget this, as a young boy, was a sign that said low taxes as a result of low spending. He's a governor I want to emulate. You know, he's a governor that said no. He's a governor that led. He's a governor that was decisive. He was a governor that took the pledge, the original pledge, which I was the first candidate to sign, the pledge from the Americans for Prosperity. And I'm asking all candidates to sign it with me on the 24th of this month. You know, we have got to get back to that pledge, and it's got to mean something. You know, Governor Lynch took a pledge. Governor Lynch will tell you one thing and he'll do something else. Because at the end of the day, we're staring right down a sales or income tax unless we cut spending. And the only way you're going to cut spending is through leadership. I've already done it. I've been there and I've done it. And I know how to do it. And I can work with department heads and we can get it done. And we can grow our economy by cutting spending and creating jobs, because you create jobs through tax cuts. Giving tax credits for every job that's created is part of my First in the Nation plan. Making sure we have a tax holiday for rooms and meals for hotels and restaurants. Wait till you start seeing the people come to the state. But the answer to the question is Governor Mel Thompson was a leader. And I think you all know that. And that's what we need to get back to here in New Hampshire.
Thank you, Joan. Karen?
You know, I've been traveling all over the state, and when I was up in Colebrook, actually it was in Pittsburgh, a little bit further north than Colebrook, and the people around the table were telling me about how they were having to pay for a special license in order to be able to paint, in order to be able to go into an old building to paint, because now you have to have a special certificate for lead paint if you're going to be anywhere where you might have to remove it. And what was it costing him? Not only did it cost him $400 to apply, or I'm sorry, $300 to apply for the license, he had to pay $195 to take the course, and then on top of that, he had to lose a whole day's worth of pay. I talked to another business group, and what did I find out? But we've got a business in the corner of the state over in Claremont area, and they just moved their business across the border into Vermont. Why? Because he happened to be a trucking business, and he got hit with that $30 to $75 per vehicle surcharge. I talked to over here in Newmarket, and what's happening over in Newmarket? Well, you know, that vehicle charge in the town of Newmarket, the number of people who are renewing their registrations is down 30%. So all of that supposed new revenue is not there. And what does that do? It puts the town of Newmarket at a deficit for what they were expecting in revenue this year. And what's it going to do? It's going to put more taxes on the citizens in Newmarket. What this administration has done over the last 6 years has been absolutely decimating not only to our citizens, but to our businesses. And we are driving them out of the state. We're causing them to relocate or start businesses in other states. Or they're not starting, or they're just closing. I talked to a large law firm. They're not hiring like they normally would. They're hunkering down and trying to become more efficient and more effective. And what are they going to be doing next? They're not going to be renovating like they were planning to do. They're not expanding like they planned to do. And what does that do? That means that the contractors are not going to be able to hire. That means that the painters are not going to be there. That means that the electricians and the plumbers are not going to be there.
Karen, can I ask you to try to wrap it up in a
Sure,
couple of seconds?
I will. And so, what do we need to do? We need to replace the governor that's going to be in that corner office with somebody who knows how to lead, someone who knows how to say no, and someone who can use that veto pen. Thank you.
Thank you.